Well, we originally had a barbershop here, and the gentleman who was here was a great guy. And what's so good about it is his grandson took over.
This place means a lot to me. I grew up in the barbershop, so I actually fell in love with the room and the trade long before I fell in love with the craft of it. I used to sweep the barbershop floors as a young guy, hanging out with Grandpa, Julian Madrid, who actually owned this shop from 1974 to 2005. My name is Andres Dominguez. I'm a professional barber here at Speakeasy Barbershop LV inside of the El Cortez. Well, as far back that I can talk is as far back as 1974. Right before that, my grandfather, Julian Madrid, was introduced to a gentleman named Tiger. I don't know exactly what his role was here in the casino, but Tiger is actually the one who introduced Julian, my grandfather, to Jackie Gone. They knew they wanted a barbershop and they knew they wanted to have that service available. So when they started talking, my grandfather's like, yeah, I'm in, I want to do it. So he said, all right, sounds great, we'll get started. And the story that I hear is my grandfather said, well, how much is rent gonna be? And Jackie Gone smiled and looked at him, shook his hand and said, well, let's go make $1 million. And the doors opened after that. Me cutting hair in Grandpa's old barbershop means a lot more to me than being actually in old downtown Las Vegas. Yeah, it's great, it's awesome. I'm not downplaying it at all, but just emotionally, just cutting hair right where my grandfather stood for years, the guy that I looked up to, that means so much more.
It's one of those contrasts I talk about. You have this young, hip guy, but what is he driven by? He'll tell you that story so passionately because it was his grandfather's shop that he's now, it's gone through a rebirth with a guy who trained on the Strip. He's a phenomenal barber. He does all the fades and tapers and all, he's sitting in a spot where his grandfather started a business decades ago. So it's just El Cortez, it's another great part of our history, and I hope that he's there for another 50 years.
Now we have this barbershop here that's cool. This young fella did a great job. He did a real good job.